Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to rip through and do our commodities update. We'll work through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'm going to interject my financial opinion across the board. And if you guys need any help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I go over individual companies, individual sectors, and you can see what I'm doing on the website, what I'm buying, and potentially why I'm buying it, and the portfolio that I have. All right, let's dive in. Let's see what's going on with the markets today. So the dollar continues to move sideways, very similar to what yields are doing. It's a sideways move for the most part, and it looks pretty stable here. We were coming down from this top here. We've responded with dollar coming on up, and it looks like it's pretty stable at the moment. To me, it looks like we could still roll higher. I know that seems a little bit weird, and yields still look like they could potentially move on up. And we can see kind of a flag pattern is what I'm seeing here that you can kind of jump off of. Looking at the 2-year yield, we're up 1.4%. For the most part, we are stable in this box there. So the 2-year yield, it's come back a little bit, and it's been stable since then. And we've got buying and selling pressure kind of working its way back and forth with the 2-year yield. On the 10-year yield, this continues to look good to move higher. Yes, you heard that right. Higher. That's what I'm seeing in the chart. It's these bullish candlesticks that I've got in the circle, one today and one a couple of days ago. And we've broken the downtrend line to the upside. So that looks good to go higher. 30-year yield also looks good to go higher. We're up against resistance. There we are. And we're right underneath it, bullish engulfing here. It didn't get much selling pressure that day. And here we are with another up day looking like it's trying to break to the upside. Long end of the curve looks like it wants to go higher. Short end of the curve looks kind of stable. The TYX-TNX ratio, we're coming back a little bit today. Curves inverting, looking at the 30-year and 10-year. The 10-year was up a little bit more than the 30-year, so inverted a little bit. And then bond prices are flat, down 0.2% right on that support level. We do have a big bearish engulfing here, and if we see continued yields to rise, I would expect this to actually break to the downside if yields continue to rise. We could be stable for a while where we move sideways for a while. Very well could be the case. And the 2 and 10, it does look like it wants to go back up and invert. Oh my goodness, the inversions here, guys. It's been inverted for a while, and maybe we stay inverted for a while. So with flat dollar, yields slightly higher, not ridiculous in any direction. Gold is flat, and that's basically what we were going to see anyway. A flat price in gold, and it's the inverse of yields that we're seeing, and maybe we go sideways in gold, much like yields could go sideways and the dollar. Silver also going sideways. It is still waiting for the right market conditions like gold is. And those market conditions may not come for a while. It may be a little ways out, maybe not. We really need to see yields fall for the historical relationship as it has with yields dropping for gold and silver to move on up. I don't know if we have that yet. Platinum's just ripping. It's not waiting. Up 3% today. Pretty big. And it looks like it wants to try to move on up. Oh, we'll see if it can do that. And the chart from a big long-term picture looks really good. This could launch at any time. Looks like it's trying to put in a bottom. And then palladium's also looking like it's trying to put in a bottom. Good support, good buying pressure today, up 1.87%. XEU to gold ratio, slightly lower. We are still below this big long-term trend line. just not breaking out yet. CRB index still continuing to move higher for Friday, and we are breaking to the upside. We are boogieing, and that is closely linked to oil. And I'm sure there's some sort of geopolitical component that will eventually get priced in if things get a little too nasty over there. CRB to S&P 500, we've seen the big bullish engulfing here and here, and I expect this to work its way on up and outperform the S&P 500 if rates continue higher. If rates go sideways, we could still see the CRB index outperform with oil continuing higher, but it depends on what the S&P 500 does. We could see some sideways grinding for a while until rates start to come back up. GDX, so GDX basically moving sideways. I think this still could go lower. We've got a big bearish engulfing here. GDXJ, it's the same thing, and SILJ, same exact thing. There's just no buying pressure here to say that the Green Army showed up. To me, it looks like it's a flag pattern that could potentially go lower. And I'm tying in yields with that. Crude oil up 1%, looking pretty good, actually. It finished quite strong. I like that. We had a pretty good whipsaw throughout the day. If I were to go into the very short term here, we were coming on up, we were coming back, we broke out, did a big old retest, and then fired on up. So to me, this looks like the momentum is to the upside. Short term wise, I mean, yeah, we could easily get a little pullback. This is we're zoomed way in. But overall, guys, this looks good to continue higher. We'll probably get into the 80s at least, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see if the momentum continues. TTF gas, it's right in the corner, and it looks like it's squeezing up. We've got the downtrend line, and then we've got the long-term support level that we've got over there. Nat gas in America, it's ripping it. It's been volatile as all get out. We're up 7.9% today. Demand for natural gas is going up for power burn, for all the uses that we use natural gas for around the world. Mainly to generate electricity, it's the swing producer. But wind hasn't been holding up its part, and we're using more and more for power generation. This is the fractal of last bull market, and to me, it looks like it's right on schedule for a potential move higher, maybe. Fractals don't make price predictions. It's just saying that last bull market was similar to what this looks like here. XOP, yeah, you know me, up 0.67%. It is following oil higher and perhaps natural gas higher. There is a lot of natural gas companies in XOP, but we were up. And again, let's hope the momentum can continue. OIH was also up. And again, let's hope the momentum can continue with OIH, XOP, and oil prices and natural gas prices. U.UN, it looks like to me that we're basically doing a return move. Perhaps that return move is almost done or is done on the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. Now we wait and see what response we get over the next few trading days, weeks. URA also looking like it's done with the gap fill, and we'll see what this looks like over the next few trading sessions. URNM is the same way. Gap is filled, and we'll see what it looks like over the next few trading sessions for the candlesticks that we get. My guess is we are going to pull back. We could even pull back further. It's a possibility. Then I think we'll gather ourselves. So we'll pull on back, we'll gather ourselves, and then we'll move on up. But the gathering could be very quick, very violent in a lot of these different sectors. So we could pull back, boom. And then we get a big surge of buying pressure. So what I'm going to do is just stay in it and not worry about the short-term timing of it. URNJ also, I like the way this looks. We've got a big green candlestick. It's a big breakout candlestick. We're coming back to the support level. The gap here hasn't been filled for URNJ, but it doesn't have to fill it. A lot of the times you get a return move and then you rip again. So it still looks really good. TAN down 1.57, doesn't like higher yields, I'm sure. It's probably because these guys don't make all that much money and they are supported by government funding and probably borrow money. COPX, the copper miners ETF, moving sideways. But again, guys, I think this is going to work its way on up over time. Copper is going to be pretty bullish. Lithium, moving on down. We were up a little bit today, but again, momentum's to the downside. We'll see if this thing can turn around. I got to see big candlesticks here on the green side. REMX, it's looking a little better. I like the pop and then the small selling pressure. It means that maybe the sellers are getting a little tired. But again, down here, rare earths, it seems like a lot of the renewable stuff just isn't working at the moment with rates going up. S&P moving sideways today, basically just sideways. It still looks good. And the NASDAQ moving sideways, and it still looks good. Not much selling pressure. Commercial or S&P regional banking ETF looks good to go higher. I like this flag pattern. We've got emerging markets right up against resistance. Higher yields, flat dollar. We've got XHB. Probably doesn't like the yields moving up, but overall, it's just been moving sideways here and basically maybe a potential channel. We've got MOO up a little bit. This is the 69 level that I'm looking for down here for a full retrace and retest, I should say. And then we'll see where that goes, probably higher. Copper down a little bit, but again, it's just these little down days. So I am very bullish on copper. I think we'll potentially break this year and run probably very high. Iron ore continues higher, up 0.7%. This is going to continue to go up. It looks fantastic for iron ore. So that looks good. Aluminum up 1.14%. This to me, we've got the big green army showing up. Small selling pressure candlesticks. It's going to work its way on up. It looks really good. Baltic Dry Index down slightly. There we are, down 0.5% on the day. But I think this is going to work its way up. Inherently bullish. We're out of a falling wedge. We've got some expanded volatility here. Looks almost like an accumulation cylinder before a big run. Newcastle coal up 1.5%, probably with natural gas up and stuff. This would be a good spot to be looking for coal companies. It's still basing out. It's going to take some time. BTC up 5%, pretty big move today. Is it reversing this downward stepping pattern? We'll see. If we get small selling pressure, big green candlesticks, I think we are reversing it. Ethereum also looking like it's trying to reverse here. And we've got a nice little bullish engulfing here, and maybe we can try to reverse it and move on higher, depending on the follow through that it gets. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. We've got a 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time Sunday question and answer session if you're part of the community. I've got some decent picks. I did make a purchase today. If you guys want to look, it was later in the day, right before market close. You can check that out if you're a member. And I did update the portfolio. So that's what I've got for today, guys. We'll catch you later. This is Finding Value.